Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Mouthpiece Entertainment movie review. I am one half of your hosting squad today, Nick P.
And I am Diana. Hi.
And I am going to let you go ahead and start this one off because you are the reason this happened.
I know, and I really was so excited for this movie.
So excited,
I was all hyped up. I was pushy. I was like, oh, a movie about mental health, like mainstream. It's something that's not usually labeled, and I got hyped up, and then I was so disappointed.
And what is it that we are talking about today?
The Woman in the Window, starring Amy Adams, and we watched it on Netflix. It's
starring Amy Adams.
Yeah.
And Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, and then who's the guy from Get Out?
I'm going to say... I don't know if he's from Get Out, but I definitely know he is.
No, that's a different
He's from
guy.
Atlanta.
There we go. That's right. He's the cousin in Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah.
So while I IMDb this and make it sound like we know what we're talking about, let's go ahead and give us a rundown of what this is.
Okay, so essentially this movie was like a psychological thriller, and it was about this woman who was a child psychologist who had agoraphobia, which, if you don't know what that is, it's an anxiety disorder that keeps you from leaving the sanctity of your house, or that's the specific instance in this one, but it also could just be like you not being able to handle being in really crowded places. It's a social anxiety disorder.
Yes, and his name was Brian Tyree Henry.
Okay, yes, I've seen him in other things, and
he's really making a name for himself recently.
Yeah, I mean he's not a bad actor. Like I don't think he took anything away from the story. He was.
Oh man, if somebody was able to take away from this story, it would be a long commercial.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't much to this movie to begin with.
No, it was a pretty basic plot of am I crazy or is this really happening, like type of thing. But the reason why I was so hyped up about it is because I was like, man, this is not a disorder that is touched upon a lot. And I think especially right now with, the way things have been with COVID and everything, realistically, it should be a more relatable disorder. Because, a lot of people are like have anxiety to go into places with a lot of people due to risk of being exposed to the virus. So I think that realistically, that idea of panicking and not being able to handle going outside should be something that we can all relate to right now.
But in all actuality, this was just a very poor attempt to retell the story Rear Window, which is, I would say, most recently done properly as Disturbia, starring Shia LaBeouf.
That was an excellent movie. It was way better than the one we just watched, can't lie.
Because this movie doesn't deal with a crazy, high-spirited teen who witnesses something and then does all kinds of crazy hijinks to uncover the truth. This was just a bored woman going through some stuff, because I'm trying not to... If we give out way too much, if we give out a little bit of what's going on in this movie, there is zero point in you watching it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the bottom of the barrel kind of movies for me are the Lifetime Movie Network movies, because they're poorly acted and boringly written.
Yeah.
This one was superbly acted, don't get me wrong. This was some good stuff. There was a situation in there where Amy Adams had to portray basically a Karen.
Oh, yeah, when she was blaming somebody else for, just incorporating somebody else in the storyline. Yeah.
She was found to be fraudulent, and she went full-blown Karen, pointing fingers at everybody.
Well, see, and that's...
Even the trash man was in trouble.
That was the part about the movie that I did like. I went and just read reviews on the book as well, and a lot of people didn't have great things to say about the plot in the book. So, I mean, I was thinking about reading it, but after reading the reviews, I was like, if it's along the same strength as the movie, then there's really no sense to it. And that's what a lot of people said, was that the story just kind of fell apart for them. And I agree with that, but what I think was really good about this movie, the only thing that I liked about it, was how well she portrayed symptoms of somebody suffering with a brain with like challenges with their brain due to trauma or due to whatever
Mental health.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that she did a good job like portraying disassociation where you kind of just like check out of your body in some ways, and she did a good job of showcasing the level of paranoia that people have when they have like anxiety disorders like this.
That sounds like a whole episode of Cathartic Ruination is the depth in which you're going. I'm just going to say, for what she was experiencing, I like the camera tricks
Yes.
that they did with that to
Yeah.
really explain what it is that she's going through mentally.
I wish they would have touched more on like side effects of medication. They did a little bit, but either way, overall, like for a mental health movie, I was surprised at how well they portrayed some things, and then the ending just threw that all off.
There was a lot of buildup, which you would expect in these thrillers. And the payoff was
Not
getting
rewarding.
shortchanged at a carnival.
Yeah, it was not rewarding at all. I think that if we, like I said, if the ending would have been different, I probably would have been able to give it a better rating overall, but it did not tie things in realistically towards the end for me.
I mean, this is a Netflix movie, which means they paid people for this. Somebody made this movie, Netflix paid for it. And at this point, after watching it, I am hardcore in the area that says if money could have gone from this movie to get us another season of one of our beloved Netflix shows that got canceled, that should have happened.
Yeah.
I would much rather have had a season 2 of Daybreak
Or Dracula.
or Dracula. Oh my God, Dracula was
Season
better.
2 of Dracula.
We need to do a review of Dracula.
Oh, I agree.
I would have preferred another season of Dracula, Daybreak, hell, even Arrested Development, anything rather than this waste of time.
Yeah. It was, like I said, from some areas, in a very small area, it was well done, but overall it was pretty unfortunate. I'm going to give it a 5.2.
I am going to give this a solid 3 because Gary Oldman was amazing.
Yeah, I thought that, like I said, like you said, the acting was good. I liked Gary Oldman in it, Amy Adams, and then that gentleman you said his
Brian
name.
Tyree Henry.
Yes. Like they all did a good job. Even the other side actors. Who's the other one that was in there? That was the.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. She's in a bunch of stuff, and she delivered phenomenally as well.
She was probably the best to me in that movie.
Wyatt Russell was also good. We're talking about Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore, yeah. Julianne Moore is in the movie as well, and she played her character very well. Like, she was not very likable, but she did a good job. So
She I don't think I've seen her in a bad role.
that's fair.
But this the child, Ethan, I was under the impression they were going to go into like whatever mental situation he was going through,
Yeah.
because when he showed up on the screen, you're like, all right, this guy,
There's something going on there.
something's going on there.
Yeah.
But nope, never touched on. Nope.
Yeah, there were I had a lot of questions by the end of the movie, and then I was like, it's not even worth it. So
It really wasn't.
I honestly would not. I guess I would recommend if you are just looking for something to get, like just something to put on. That's not the worst movie you've ever watched. Like, that's fine.
This
But I don't know if I would even recommend watching it. Like, you're
This
better
is-
off just reading a book about agoraphobia.
This is, again, I don't think this was a movie about mental health. I think this was a suspense-driven thriller
Yeah.
that just had mental health as a vehicle to push the visuals.
Yeah.
But this is 100% a Netflix and chill movie.
Yeah,
This is not a
definitely.
pay attention to everything movie. There are some scenes that correlate towards the end, but again, in the first 5 minutes, I called what happened, didn't I?
Yeah, you
In
did.
the first 5 minutes, I knew exactly what was going on. There was no payoff. You will know exactly what's going on. If you started sleep all the way through the middle of it, you
And
will
then
still
watch-
know
yeah.
exactly what's going on.
You could miss a pretty big portion and still catch the drift, unfortunately.
It's okay.
I had ulterior motives watching the movie, so the reason why I watched the movie, I was like satisfied in a lot of ways because I think it's a very misunderstood condition. But you're right, it definitely could have been I think it could have been more. Like if they would have played off of it from that angle, it would have actually been pretty legitimate.
It
The
would have been way
idea
better.
of, can I trust myself versus what I'm actually seeing? Is what I'm seeing real? Is my brain just telling me something is happening? Like that's a real challenge for a lot of people.
So
So
if you guys want a more in-depth conversation about this, I believe we are definitely going to be speaking about this on the next episode of your podcast, Cathartic Ruination.
yeah, I'll touch on it a little bit just to go in further detail. If you guys have any interest, you can check it out. But overall, I'm gonna give it a thumbs down.
I'm going to give it a Netflix and chill.
So
This is not worth your time. This is not worth your interest unless you're just really like ugly cats. Well, yeah, this has been another episode of Mouthpiece Entertainment Movie Review.
yes, it has.
I feel like we should come up with a better name.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Thanks for tuning in, and this is Diana signing off. Bye.
Nick V. See ya.